Hey VC friends, how's it going? Wes back here again talking to you. Still working on the Lagunitas Brown Sugar, 9.9% brown ale, 51 IBUs. It's sort of a hoppy brown ale with brown sugar, 10% alcohol by volume. Good beer. This is their sort of holiday ale. Very tasty. Definitely recommended as with anything you can get from Lagunitas. Very good beer, very reasonably priced, and yeah, good stuff. So anyway, this is likely to be a long video, so I want to go ahead and get into it. It's been a while since I did a Survivor video. I've been buying a ton of records lately. I'm looking at a huge stack here along the floor next to the window of all the stuff I bought last weekend at the book sale. Yeah, so and I got another stack out in the living room that I just shot another inbox video of the other stuff I've been buying in the past couple weeks. So it's been crazy, a lot of stuff coming in, but at the prices I've been finding things, I just can't turn it down. So I'm bringing in as much as I can, and maybe years from now, when vinyl is harder to find and more expensive, I'll have plenty to listen to. So do another Survivor video here. We'll start off as usual with the stuff that I not going to be keeping. First thing here is we have Luke featuring the Two Live Crew. This is the 12-inch single for Band in the USA. I recently bought this album on vinyl, the whole album, so I really don't need the 12-inch single. It has the radio mix and an acapella and an instrumental, and there's no reason to keep this really. It's a good song. I like it. It has some meaning to me just because of when it came out and where I was in life. But yeah, I have the album, so I don't need the 12-inch. So that's going to be going away. Next up is a sort of an EP, I guess, from Lighter Shade of Brown. It's got Homies, Lowrider Madness, On a Sunday Afternoon, and an instrumental version of Homies. You know, Lighter Shade of Brown is okay, sort of Chicano hip hop stuff. But yeah, I don't really need to keep this. It's not really anything interesting to me. So that can go away. Next up is we have Sessions Presents Get It Together. It's just sort of one of those compilations as seen on TV sort of things they would sell. It's got Cream, The Grassroots, Guess Who, Iron Butterfly, Jefferson Airplane, The Monkees, Rascals, Steppenwolf, Vanilla Fudge. That kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of good songs on here, but they're sort of crammed on there, and it's not in the greatest of shape, so I really don't need to keep that either. Next up, we got Hank Williams Jr., Born to Boogie. And yeah, I didn't really care for this. With the exception of Young Country, it's probably one of the few Hank Williams Jr. songs I really like. Yeah, the rest of this is just not that good. I don't need to keep this one. But it's a nice clean copy, so I might put it in the box for the Discogs store or something. Maybe somebody will want it. I don't know. And speaking of Iron Butterfly, here's Inagata Davida. I'm decided not to keep this just because of the condition. It's just in really poor condition. Next up is another one I'm just not keeping because I don't really like it enough to make it feel like it should be in the collection. This is Club Nouveau's Lean On Me remix, 12-inch. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, The Love Black and Blue. Just didn't really get anything from it, so that's going to be going. Laid Back, 12-inch with Sunshine Reggae and White Horse. White Horse is sort of a memorable thing. They used to play it at the skating rink all the time back in the 80s, but yeah, I don't feel any reason to keep this. And we got another Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. This is Reaching for the World. I'm not going to be keeping that one. Didn't care for it. And the last one that I'm not keeping is Barry White's I Love to Sing, the song I sing. And I've just decided that I only need a couple Barry White albums. I don't need to have them all. So this one was just sort of blah for me. So I decided I'm not keeping that one. Okay, so now we're moving on to the good stuff, the stuff I did like and I'm going to be keeping. First thing we got here is Robin Trower Live. This is incredible live album if you like sort of Robin Trower, just amazing guitarist, just killer. Two Rolling Stone, Daydream, Rock Me Baby, Lady Love, I Can't Wait Much Longer, Aletha, A Little Bit of Sympathy. Great live guitar album, just incredible. Great guitarist. Next up we got actually a Leon Russell album that I really liked. This is Will o' the Wisp. And I'm not exactly sure why I like this. Maybe because there is a lot of synthesizer on here. But for some reason I'm like, okay, finally a Leon Russell album I really like. And I really did remember enjoying this. It does have sort of a... I mean, the music matches the album art. It's like it has sort of a natural sort of feel to it. Just really cool. I know I'm not doing this justice, but this is a Leon Russell I really liked. Okay, next up is one I'm definitely. Hopefully, all of you have had a chance to at least sample, if not have purchased it by now. In Dreama. First album here, very cool. Still love Loop Hopper and Exodus. Great endings. Exodus is a really cool song. Yeah, still enjoying this. Got it on my... Downloaded it, got it on my iPhone now, so very cool. But I can play the purple vinyl when I'm at home, so that was a cool one. Next up we got Elton John's 21 at 33. What was on here? Okay, this one has Little Genie on it. It's the only really big song, but it was a pretty good Elton John album. And I'm pretty much a completist when it comes to Elton John. I'll buy, they're pretty easy to find in thrift stores and dollar bins and whatnot. So buying all that I find, I really do enjoy his music. And so that's another one for the collection. Here's a UK pressing of 171170. This is on Pickwick Records. I had the US pressing of this, but it had some water damage, so I'm going to use this as an upgrade copy. Pull this out. It's on Pickwick. And it sounds pretty good for a live, sort of radio show recording. Sounds really good. I was really happy with the way this sounded. Like I said, my US copy was water damaged and the vinyl wasn't in the best shape, so it's sort of nice to have this. Okay, next up, the rarest album ever pressed. Now, this is Michael Jackson's Thriller. It always amuses me when I see people on a Craigslist try to sell this. I saw somebody try to sell this last year for $1,500 for an open copy of Thriller. Yeah, but it's a classic. I've had this for probably 20 years. I pulled this out of Salvation Army in the 90s. And it's just sort of been floating around in my collection since then, and I've never gotten around to actually cleaning it and digitizing it and getting it in until, this is sort of a newer project for me to get everything clean and digitized and organized. So this one just recently made it in. It's a classic. Not much to be said. I mean, everybody knows this. All right, next up is my introduction to Frank Zappa. Probably not the best introduction to Frank Zappa, but I did enjoy it. Maybe it is a good introduction to Frank Zappa because it is a soundtrack and it's sort of easily approachable. This is the soundtrack to 200 Motels. very cool. I did like the sort of dramatic soundtrack sort of music, along with the comedic sort of side of it. I like that, and I understand that Frank Zappa does sort of do a lot of comedic sort of stuff on his albums. So, but yeah, this was very cool. I picked this up at the book sale 3 years ago, maybe. Early on in the VC, I picked this up. So that was a cool find, cool addition to the collection. Another one I've had for quite a while. This is Prince's Purple Rain. Not much needs to be said about that. It does have the poster in there, so that's a nice, clean, perfect copy of that. Next up, we got the Commodores Anthology. Probably the only Commodores album I'll ever need. It's pretty much got everything on here. But it was cool to hear a lot of this stuff I hadn't heard before. So yeah, it was really cool to hear this, and yeah, good stuff. You know, I like Lionel Richie a lot, so hearing this part of his career is very, very nice, and that's, like I said, it's the only Commodores album I'll ever need. But it's fun to have. Next up, we got Jimi Hendrix Experience Smash Hits. This is, I believe this is the reissue of this from '77. The sound is not great on this one. It's a little bit muddy, but this is a clean copy. It plays clean. It doesn't have any. It's very quiet, and it's just sort of something to have in the collection. I have all these songs on other better sounding reissues and whatnot. So this is more of just a piece to add to the collection rather than something to listen to. But that was a cool find. Or cool addition to the collection, I should say. Next up, we have a local Gainesville band that another one I heard on NPR, All Songs Considered, and I ordered it, oh my god, beginning of the year, back when I believe it was Josh had the thread about local artists, and I ordered this, and I'm like, oh, this will be great, this will be perfect, I'll order this band's music, and I'll show it off, and the vinyl pressing kept getting delayed, and finally showed up a couple weeks ago. This is the band 100 Waters. They're sort of a folk pop electronic mix those three things together. Very interesting. I tend to ignore Gainesville bands just because I automatically assume that they're either punk or hardcore. So I didn't really. I feel kind of ashamed that I had to discover them on a national radio show. But this is very, very cool band. Very, very sort of grand in scheme. Very, very calm, peaceful, relaxing kind of music. Like I said, a little bit folky. A little bit of electronica, a little bit poppy, really good stuff. So I do recommend checking this out, 100 Waters. And they actually did a show here last Saturday. So I picked up a show poster. Yeah, I need to talk about that album some more in detail in the future. Next up, we got a 12-inch single that I'm going to be keeping. This is 69 Boys Tootsie Roll Remix. I just have to keep this. I mean, this is fun sort of party music. It came out around the time I was graduating from high school. Just a cool remix of the Tootsie Roll, Quiet Storm, sort of smoothed out sort of bass sound to it. I really like that. One's going in the collection. Another one that came out around the time I was graduating. This is Rappin' Forte's I'll Be Around. 12-inch. Next up, we got a sort of classic Florida folk musician that probably most people haven't heard of. Mixes a lot of storytelling with folk music. Very awesome performer live. Passed away probably 20 years ago now. It's been a while since he passed away, but this is Gamble Rogers. Very funny storyteller, great sort of folky sort of musician. Not for everyone, but Definitely is sort of a classic Florida cracker kind of listening experience, I guess you could say. This is the Florida I know. You know, sort of the rural farming, agricultural, cow farming, cattle farmer sort of Florida that I know well. Next up is something very interesting. Well, I mean, yes, it's interesting to me. It's something I wish would have caught on. It's Herbie Hancock's sound system, sort of trying to fuse jazz with hip hop. Um, and I really enjoy this. I wish, like I said, I wish it would have caught on. There's a lot of sort of jazz and rock fusion. I would have loved to seen some more jazz and hip hop fusion. So that's I think Herbie Hancock was really the only person that really did that. I really enjoyed that. All right, next we got here a Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young 4-Way Street live concert. This is a French pressing of this, just killer live concert. Just wow, amazing. And somebody gave this to their lover when they were, or someone they loved when they were leaving, probably to come to the U.S. So it's got that in there. It's cool though. I found this at a thrift store 10, 15 years ago. It's been a while since I've picked this up, but finally got a chance to clean it and get it into the collection. Yeah, I just love. This is a great concert. Definitely, if you find this, grab it. It's awesome. And next up, we got some comedy here. It's Cheech and Chong's "Get Out of My Room." And we got an upgrade copy to Pink Floyd's "The Wall." This is one I bought on eBay, I think, a couple months ago. I'm just now getting around to checking it out, and it does play very nicely, pretty quiet. The jacket is not as in good a shape as I would have hoped, as the description led me to believe. But it's pretty good. It's better than what I had. So that's an upgrade for that. And we got Human League's "Fascination." I prefer side 2 to side 1. There's a sort of like a Fascination remix on here. "I Love You Too Much" and "You Remind Me of Gold" are both great songs. The first side, "Fascination," it's just overplayed, I guess. I know it too well. "Mirror Man" and "Hard Times" are not that good, but like I said, side 2, I really enjoyed side 2 of this. And one more to go into the Hendrix Family reissues collection here. This is Electric Ladyland. Sort of a classic one there, and I love these reissues to death. They sound amazing. Beautiful pressings, and the information booklet that's added into them is really nice, and they're really reasonably priced. I mean, I pay like $13 or $14 for these on Amazon, and you just can't go wrong. So that was a long one. I'm sorry. I thank you for sticking around if you've made it this far. Leave me some comments if you have any things to add or any questions about any of these, and stay tuned, and we'll be back soon with some more vinyl. Enjoy your music. Cheers.